Go, baby.
I feel like you would like rip them so easily. It is officially time to deep clean the kitchen, starting with the fridge. As we wind down another year, I want to share 5 lessons that I learned this past year. These are my insights that perhaps might resonate with you as well, so let's dive in. Lesson number 1, overconsumption culture, is that constant pursuit of things, believing that they'll fill a void or make us feel worthy. But here's the paradox. The more we accumulate, the more disconnected we become. There's always that something more lurking around the corner. It's a cycle that never seems to satisfy that underlying feeling of enoughness. And speaking of worthiness, we've all heard that it has to come from within. But for the longest time, I was lost as to how to do that until I started diving into Dr. Joe Dispenza's work. Over the past 3 months, I've actively practiced teaching my body the emotions of worthiness and wholeness through his meditations. And let me tell you, it has been life-changing. Lesson number 2. Even when you think that you're healed, spending time with your parents can really make you feel like you're back to square one. I got frustrated many times after being triggered by something my parents said to me. Then I would go to my therapist, feeling defeated and disappointed about the fact that I hadn't made progress in my emotional healing journey at all. Until my therapist said something that really stuck with me. She said, "Rachel, healing doesn't mean you won't feel a certain way anymore. It means that now you have the tools and a better understanding so that you're able to become more conscious and shorten that reactive period. You can be a 23-year-old person, but in your relationship with your mom, you're still that 8-year-old child that deeply wants to be understood." So here's a reminder that healing is an ongoing process rather than being immune to certain negative emotions. Lesson number 3 is about the thin line between acknowledging our limitations and becoming prisoners of our stories. Sometimes it's easy to say, I have social anxiety, so I will say no to every single hangout. Or, oh, I'm this way because my mother did this to me when I was young. It's important to acknowledge at which point these stories become repetitive and hold us back from becoming the best version of ourselves by convincing ourselves that we're the victims of our lives. Because maybe that future self that you're striving for wouldn't make excuses or complain, or wouldn't operate in a fear-based manner. Yes, understanding our patterns and past wounds is essential, but so is taking steps to change and grow. Otherwise, we can go on with our lives 5 years, 10 years from now, still spinning the same stories about some events that happened years ago. Remember, we're the creators of our lives, not passive bystanders to our past. Lesson number 4. Wanting more does not mean that you're not grateful for what you already have. It's natural to aspire for growth and improvement while still appreciating what you have. The pursuit of more does not negate gratitude, it complements it. And last but not least, practice shame resilience. Shame is universal, yet we don't want to talk about it. It puts us in a position where we feel very uncomfortable and vulnerable. Practicing shame resilience could mean being willing to reach out to other people, or posting that video that you've been wanting to put out, or showing yourself compassion when you perceive failures or inadequacies, whether that is with the way you look or where you are in life. We're all imperfect in the most perfect ways, and perhaps some people are just better at hiding their imperfections than others. And there you have it, 5 lessons from 2023 that have left a mark on my journey. I love to hear your insights too, so drop them in the comments below.
Child's pose. So let's take the big toes to touch. Open up the knees. Taking the breath laterally into that space through the ribs. We'll hold here. Knee as we curl in. Press and extend it back out. Roll the hip down. 2 more like this. Curl it in. We're going to bend into this left knee. Wrap the hand all the way
What does it mean to make a given year the best year of your life? I think it's kind of three things. Firstly, it's that we are making progress towards the things that truly matter to us. Secondly, that our life is broadly in balance, so we're not screwing up one area of our life for the sake of another. And thirdly, that we are, while working towards the things that matter to us, we are managing to enjoy ourselves and kind of enjoying every day on its own merit, rather than purely seeing it as a means to an end. And so
it's finally time to do some reflection on 2023 and setting some intention for the new year. How was your year? I think my year was good. Every year I had a one-word intention, and for 2023 my word was surrender. What I mean by surrender is practicing letting go of control and just trust in the process. I kind of forgot about this one-word intention probably halfway through 2023, but looking back now, I think this year I was constantly challenged with that idea of trusting the process, being in the unknown, getting comfortable with being in the unknown, and just letting go of things that I cannot control. So far I haven't reached a point where something like super magical happened that makes me feel like, oh my god, this whole time of me trusting in the unknown is worth it, but I think I'm just getting more comfortable with being in the present and not needing to know what will happen in the future. Anyways, I'm following this YouTube video by Ali Abdal. He's showing you how to make a wheel of life, to reflect on the past year, and you can reflect on how aligned you feel you are in each area, and pick certain goals you want for the next year. I haven't made my vision board yet. Vision board is a fun process for me. I love looking on Pinterest and looking at pictures, but I think for me personally, like just making one and setting as my wallpaper isn't enough. I know from the past year that I really needed to practice that every day. Practice being that future self every day, like walk as this person. How would this person act? Like I need to do those things every day to able to reach that thing on the vision board. Is not just for me. I don't think it's enough to just set the vision board as my wallpaper, so it's something that I look at every day, because sometimes looking at them makes me feel separated from it. It's like, oh, these are things that I don't have, and months have passed in this year and I haven't achieved anything on my vision board. That's my experience with a vision board. I know a lot of people had great success with that, and I thought it would work for me, but I've been doing vision board for a couple years, and I found a way that works best for me. Is that I really need to get really clear on what kind of personality my future self possess, and become that person, walk as that person, act as that person. How would this person behave? And practice doing that during my meditation in the morning, and doing that with my eyes opened. And when you change your personality and literally become a different person, now it makes you more aligned to that goal. So now that manifestation, that dream apartment, that dream job, or that abundance are just side effect of you changing yourself, if that makes sense. Let me know how your year went. I know this time of year can feel really overwhelming and anxiety inducing. Remember that a good year doesn't have to be a perfect year. Everything is a journey, and try to look at the past year and celebrate the small things that you did so well. It could be simple as for not giving up, for getting out of bed every day. And it could be very overwhelming seeing tons of content online of people tell you, here's what you need to do to make 2024 the best year ever, and you have to do all these things, all this vision board, journaling and visualizations. Those are great, but find what works for you and what is not too overwhelming for you. It's okay if you don't do any of this before 2024. You can do it first week of 2024. That's fine. Also, don't even try to cram your first week of 2024 with like all this crazy thing. Oh, I need to go to the gym like 5 times a week. I need to get up at 6 a.m. blah blah. Like, don't try to cram it all in the first week with all this new year resolution. The key is consistent and showing yourself self-compassion on the way. We are a work in progress, and as long as you becoming aware and constantly reflect on how you did yesterday and how you can take yesterday as a piece of wisdom to go into the next day without any attached emotion. Don't beat yourself up over it. There's nothing to be ashamed about or feeling guilty about just because you see somebody else doing something different. I think that's what I need to learn a lot this year, and like, I mean, my whole life I
tend to compare myself a lot, and that's something I still work through. You also don't need to figure out your goals are for the entire year. This year I decided to only set goal for say the next 3 or 4 months. It makes it less daunting, easier to reflect, and I find that when I set goals for the entire year, sometimes my goals change and I kind of outgrow that. I hope that's helpful. Before we end this video, I want to take a moment to express my deepest gratitude to every single one of you. Whether you just found this video or you subscribed to my channel this past year, being able to share my daily lives, ideas, and creativity with the world, it has been an incredibly fulfilling journey, and I am very, very grateful for that. Thank you so much for taking the time to hang out and watch my videos. It means the world to me. I look forward to taking this channel even further this next year, and I hope that I get to see you there. Thank you for being here. Happy New Year. Bye.